Hi friends. The last show that I went to was in December of 2019. Lucy Dacus, who you heard in last week's postcard, was performing at New York's Webster Hall. One of those old-timey looking 1800s theaters with chandeliers and fancy balconies that have seen as many roaring 20s masquerade balls as labor union rallies between their walls. It was one of those shows that I almost didn't go to because it was after work and I was tired, and I didn't want to have to stand for 3 hours because I'm 29 and my skeleton is already dust. But I'd paid for tickets, so I took the queue into Manhattan and I stood among a bunch of other depressed bisexuals for the last time in the next, I have to believe, at least 2 years. There was an unreleased song that Lucy was playing when she toured in 2018 and 2019. She'd perform it toward the end of her set, but not before quieting everyone down and telling us the song wasn't out yet, so could we all be cool and not record it? I'm not going to play it here because she's already getting the AdSense off my last video, as she should, but you can click the card up there to listen to it now. I saw her play 3 different times in 2019, and always phones would lower and the crowd would fall into a reverent hush. After a nearly 3-year wait, she released the track, song about an uncomfortable encounter with her partner's good-for-nothing dad, as the lead single of her upcoming album, Home Video. It's not a lot more than a sparse synth organ that pans and whooshes, giving the effect of sitting in a cathedral while cars pass on a wet street outside. The production attempts to replicate the experience of seeing Thumbs live. Audience quiet as churchgoers, except for the odd whoops and whistles that would always come after the line where she imagines gouging out her partner's dad's eyes. Everyone wanted to really listen, soaking in all the intimacy of something they knew they couldn't keep. For all of 2020, Thumbs existed only in the memories of people who had been there. No covert recordings were ever released. The only way I could be sure the song was even real was that a Twitter account called Has Lucy Dacus Released Thumbs Yet periodically tweeted that we still couldn't listen to it. But finally, the song came out in early March, near our collective pandemiversary. None of us have been able to see live music in a room full of strangers in more than a year. That time in December was the last I leaned on a pillar near the back of a venue and nodded my head along. Even though artists like Lucy are starting to announce tour dates for the fall, I don't know when I'll actually feel comfortable going again. But I can listen to Thumbs and know that, while beautiful, it can't capture the ephemerality of a live performance. One artist exposing her still glowing rage, while a whole audience holds their breaths to make space for it. Because the grief that the song describes, like so many of the pieces missing in our current lives, is meant to be shared. Tell me in comments about the last show that you saw live, or if you haven't been to one that you can remember, what's the last experience that you shared with strangers? That, by the way, was a revised and very much expanded version of my final project for a music criticism class that I've been taking on the weekends because I hate rest, apparently. But let me know if you'd like to see more music writing from me either here or maybe elsewhere. Oh, and if you did like this video, you can click the notification bell. You can join my community of Patreon supporters called the Radish Collective. I think that's all I have to tell you. No, get a vaccine. They're great. All right, I'll see you soon.